Einstein, a special guest, and miracles and anything is possible. And my wife Jane and I, we help people step up and tap into the heart of success with EFT and holistic coaching. And today, I have a special guest, Albert Einstein, who says there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. Well, which one do you choose? Do you want to live a ho-hum, uh, repetitive, dull, satisfied, settled for life, or more extraordinary, miraculous life? Let me explain. I'm going to go into a series of fictions and facts, a tale of two realities to illustrate how you too, as Albert Einstein, our good friend, said, can live a miraculous life. I can live more on the mountain instead of slushing around in the mud, as we sometimes say. Okay, first, fiction and fact. Fiction, well, the physical world, what we see around us is inflexible, solid. Um, that's the way it is. You have to accept all the physical things and settle for it. Fiction, yes. Myth. Well, fact, quantum physics, as you may know, it says everything is fluid, flexible, changing, waves and particles. Everything goes into invisible energy. It's mysterious, and our thoughts actually create and shape things and influence things. Earl Nightingale said a long time ago, we become what we think about. And the placebo effect, you may have heard of, uh, proves many times scientifically that what people are told can influence the outcome. In fact, with many studies for people taking antidepressants, the placebo, the sugar pill, taking a pill that is just sugar, it doesn't have any medication in it, can have a comparable or even sometimes better outcome than the medication. In fact, it's a smart budgetary move. So your thoughts create what happens. This is very powerful. So if you think something is going to happen, it can actually produce the same chemicals, hormones in your body just by thinking about it or taking a sugar pill. Uh, the doctor says you have a week to live, and lo and behold, the person dies. The doctor says you're going to be fine, and suddenly the person is fine. So we are highly influenced by what we think. There's a famous study from the 1950s. A man had all these tumors on his body, was near death, heard of a new medication, begged his doctor to take it, took the medication, um, and lo and behold, 10 days later, he was fine. His tumors were gone. He later, a few months, read in the paper that experimental drug didn't work. He then relapsed again in his mind, became sick, cancer-ridden. His doctor said, "Hey, wait a second. I have a new version of the drug, which was actually just a sugar a water injection that again restored his health." And when he found out that it wasn't a real drug, he then relapsed and felt hopeless and died. So what we think makes a huge difference. Okay, going on with anything can happen and miracles are possible, our miracle reframe, which I will share with you in a moment. Next fiction, we are separate and essentially alone. Just me out here, and I'm not connected with anything. Well, fact, there is no separation except in our minds, because we're actually all connected. Everything is part of the whole, really. Um, each of us is connected with a source or a creator or an infinite. And when you start to realize that, that's empowering. So the next fiction in this tale of two realities is life is a series of random events, outside forces that influence our success. It's beyond our control. It's just happening to us. Well, fact, life is a series of meaningful events, and we create our own success through our thoughts and actions. And that's much more wonderful to know that we can be in charge of our reality, direct our destiny. We can't control everything, of course, but we are a key component on how the outcome of things occur. And that's how you can have a miraculous world like Albert Einstein advised. Fiction, next fiction. Life isn't fair. I'm a victim. Fact, life is fair. You are a creator. You can create your life. It's a very empowered way to be. It doesn't mean that strange things don't happen because of unusual circumstances, reasons we may not consciously understand. Consciously, unconsciously, on some level, we may understand it from a higher level, from a metaphysical level. Maybe there are beings or forces, probably there are, that are greater and wiser than us that are influencing us too as part of this conscious creation we are part of and can participate in and help direct as becoming creators. And the next fiction fact combo here, Tale of Two Realities. Success is an outward process of doing what it takes. Well, actually, as success coach Tony Robbins says, most of what success is comes from our mind, maybe 90% or more. And then the action, the appropriate and inspired action, follows. Robin Sharma, another success coach, says the door to success opens inward. Next fact in fiction. Fiction. Life is difficult and you have to accept your lot in life. Well, how about this fact? The essence of life is well-being, flowing, and joyful. This is where blessings abound. We're here to expand, live fully, grow. Wallace Wattles, author of The Science of Being Rich and Being Great author, said what we think, when we think in a certain way, we produce outcomes. It starts from the inside and goes out. Another fiction and fact. Your excuses and why you haven't succeeded or can't succeed are valid. You know, hey, look at it. Some people are just sort of meant not to do well. Well, fact, there are no valid excuses. You have untapped greatness within you. You have gifts and talents, skills that you can develop, things that you actually enjoy. And by taking responsibility for yourself, learning from the quote, failures, setbacks, you're on a creative path, a growth path. In fact, there's a growth mindset and a fixed mindset, as a psychologist use those terms. And people who have a fixed mindset that everything is fixed tend to do poorer in their jobs and their attitude, not surprisingly, than those who are in a growth mindset where they see opportunities. In fact, your brain shrinks when you are pessimistic and can only think that things bad are going to happen, and it widens. You see possibilities, and they've done studies so you can see more in the picture if you're looking for the positive. We have something called the miracle reframe. We use it with EFT, the emotional freedom techniques, and I don't know if this will come through. You can get it at, I don't know if that's backwards here. Well, anyways, gettingthrough.org, gettingthrough.org/miracles.htm. gettingthrough.org/miracles.htm. It's a simple mantra that we came up with. It says, anything is possible and miracles are happening now. Anything is possible and miracles are happening now. And there's a free version at that website link. I think Albert Einstein was onto something. I think it's something to consider, that you can consider life as nothing is miraculous or everything is miraculous. How do you want to live your life? And I hope I've given you a few thoughts, food for thought, food for miracle. Anything is possible. This is Philip Montrose wishing you the heart of your success.